Hey guys, what's up? So welcome back to the channel. So recently, if you've seen my other videos, I had posted a video on how to make a glitter mug. Well, I got a comment on there and someone first off congratulated me on kind of how it turned out and said it turned out better than they thought it was going to. It honestly turned out better than I thought it was going to. So wasn't sure at first when I first got started with how it was going. But they also asked how I got a job working from home, and that is a great question because it is not an easy thing to do. You can find one a little bit easier now since the coronavirus, but they're not permanently at home, and I am guessing that is what you're looking for. If it's not, definitely let me know. But without further ado, so let's talk about like why I have an at-home job. It is just easier with all my health stuff to manage. With the medications that I have to take, it's not always a great idea for me to be driving, but I can still communicate properly to people and things like that. It's not that kind of an issue, so it just makes me like a touch foggy, and I'm like, I don't necessarily feel comfortable enough to just take off driving, right? So anyways, moving forward here, I started looking for an at-home job. It took me a while. So when the coronavirus stopped, we were getting paid for a little bit, and then it got to where they just couldn't pay us anymore, and eventually they couldn't fund to keep things open that were going on. I'm not going to mention the specific program, but I did work with children around the preschool age area, and I loved it. But due to kind of what was going on with the virus, and then not everybody really feeling comfortable bringing them back, well, if they don't bring them, then and they're pulling them out and stuff, we're not getting the money for those children. So then I was like, okay, I am a germaphobe, so this was like kind of my worst nightmare, honestly. When it started, I had a little stash actually of soap already before it even happened, right? So I always like feared of something happening like this. I had extra Germexes set aside, stuff like that for in case I ran out and couldn't get a hold of it. So it was very important that I wasn't working just like out in the public, that was just not going to be a good fit for me to be around people all the time, because when it first happened, I wasn't even going out myself. So the main thing that I did is just put on there my state and at-home job, right? I didn't limit it to anything specific, and more jobs just kept popping up. And there's actually a thing where it'll tell you if you're temporarily at home, if you just have to read in the description if it's a permanent at-home position, and mine was a permanent at-home position. I work for Teleperformance, but if you're looking for call center work, there's all sorts of places like that. You don't have to go through the specific corporations. Different corporations will fund these places to help them out taking calls, and especially around the holiday times, it's a great time to get in with them. Really get in there, just to do your best, show them that you can do it, but that's what I do. I work for a call center who takes calls for a major tech company. That's how they told us to word it. I'm not allowed to tell you which company I work for exactly, but yeah, because first off, it could change, and second, that's just part of it. You don't want to just put their business all out there, I guess. I don't know. I don't really understand why it's such a big deal, but it is, and it's something that I had to agree to. Anyways, but so there's Teleperformance, there's Alorica, there's Conduit, all these different places that do things like that, like take it for tech companies, take it for insurance companies, take it for just like general customer service for different retail stores and stuff like that, and even customer service calls, like when you order your food and like, oh, it shows up wrong or something. Heard a couple people tell me that they take phone calls for like food places as well. I've never done that. I've just worked for the tech side of things, but to get that job, I just had to continue to put it out there. Indeed is actually how I've gotten the last few jobs that I've had, and even this one, working at home, they put out just kind of one of those generalized come work for us kind of things, you know. And yeah, so I just started applying for all of them, and Teleperformance I actually went with because my brother had worked there before, so I knew it was a legitimate company, that they actually, you know, it's just different, you know. Like, I used to, at one point I worked for Hilton. Well, when you hear Hilton Hotels, you know that name, you know, most people do anyways, at least from like the part of the country I'm from, like more the middle to east side. That's really the main places I've been, to be honest. We've not really explored the west too much. Anyways, so that's always nice to know that you're working for somebody good, because I had never heard from them before until my brother got a job there and started working for them. Alorica, same thing, never heard from them. I haven't personally worked for them, but my one of my brothers had worked there for a little bit as well, you know. So just those companies that I've mentioned, the Conduit, Teleperformance, and Alorica, are all legitimate companies who pay well. Teleperformance, I was really surprised with how well they pay. I'm not going to get into that, but they do pay well. Especially since I don't actually have a degree for this specifically, but they do take you through pretty in-depth classes for these different things, for these different companies. Sorry. So yeah, that's just what I did. I went to all the different job sites. I put in my state, I put in at-home jobs, and just went through and started eliminating who was actually at home. That's another thing you have to kind of look at, because they say at home or remote work, and what they really mean is they're having you travel around and you can do some of it from home. The call centers are the best ones to try to do from home, because you are at home. So if you're a nurse, you can be an at-home nurse, because places like my insurance has a nurse line, and I know I've talked to nurses who are like, yes, they've allowed us to work from home, you know. And there's some companies where you actually have to work your way up to being able to work from home as well, so that's definitely something to look at as well. But the main thing I did was just put out at-home jobs in all the different job searching, Indeed, Career Builder, something else, LinkedIn I looked at a little bit. I didn't have much luck with that one, but my dad and my brother both love that one, so probably user error. But like I said, Indeed is where I actually got this job from. So definitely something to check out. I hope this video kind of helped you out a little bit with where to start, at least. If you have more questions, need some clarification on something more than I mentioned here, if I didn't make myself quite clear, just let me know in the comments below, and thank you guys for watching. Bye!